Teenager Discord. It's a thing. Link in the description box down below. And if that don't work, well, then comment or something about it and tell me it ain't working and to fix the shit. I'll put another link somewhere or I'll refresh it so you can get in. You can yell at me live on streams or join me for a chat or you can request things and your requests get very quickly looked at whenever the PC is gonna freaking decide it's not gonna die. Teenage angst or something like that. That's my guess. That's what this picture screams at me. Is a teenager or some teenager that's yo, like nothing matters in the world or whatever, or I don't matter, or things maybe matter, or I don't know where I am, what I'm doing, or where the hell I'm going. Ah, help me, or some shit like that. Usually it has to do with teenagers. That's what this seems like. But what they do is that they're all the artsy wannabe types, quite usually nowadays. And so they're like, oh, look at my soulful, empathetic art that, is kind of cool, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, and it represents you very well. Art does reflect the artist, which is hilarious. That being said, besides making fun of all the wannabe art millionaires out there, this is a request from Fire Mango on the Discord. You're welcome. Typical story by Hobo Johnson. Why does all of this scream teenage angst? Well, anyway, let's continue. Let's see. What do you got for me?
It's a typical story where the bassist kills the singer, the guitarist and the drummer find they're in love with each other. It's the story of the kid who clearly won't know what to say when the love of his life starts to calmly walk away. And it's the story of the dad who decides to chase his dream. He quits his job, he falls apart, and he loses everything. And it's the story of the kid who just wants to make a record, loves and crafts it, but nobody ever cares about it. Whoa. Hey, what's your name? Talking's for the guys you hate. We should sit in silence while we think of what to say. Hey, I don't think this is working out. Will you forget I even asked you to come over to my house?
Yeah, teenage angst made writ. Oh, there's a bit of a story to it, right? A little bit. They've got kind of a guiding hand doing this, I think, because they're like, typical story, let's keep it simple and talk about typical stories. Sounds like shit you hear about all the time, right? Oh, my dad, fucking, something happened to him, he lost everything, now everything sucks. Or, oh, there's someone who's trying their dream way too late and they're going to suck at it and they were never destined for greatness or something, right? Or you'll get, but like, places, okay, think of liberal cities, and the vast majority of them are wannabe, like Picassos and wannabe, Serenas and wannabe, the police or, wannabe Hollywood actor superstars. They're all wannabes, every single freaking one. They all want to be the rich millionaire that was the one guy that did the thing, or the one gal that did the thing, and they got rich and famous. That's what they all want, and they're all wannabes. That's why leftists and liberals are all posers. They don't actually do shit that matters. They just do shit to try to do shit for themselves. Anyway, but this is coming, from something with a core like that, but at the same time, it's like mostly teenage angst, right? You could tell from the voices, you could tell from the way it's all set up, the story and the artwork. The artwork was selected because that's what it basically represents. It's like anything and everything can grow off of this. Do you see any fruitful things growing though? Obviously not. None of these are fruitful. They're all nice and pretty looking, and sure, they're part of nature too, but they don't propagate things, they don't feed things very much, or if they do, they're very small and limited quantity, and they don't really produce much of nothing except maybe a few niche things. And the blink out on the face, right, says it all. Teenage angst. I don't know what I am, what I'm doing here, why I'm here, where I'm going, and I am lost with no direction. And it's funny because teenage angst wasn't a thing when men were in charge of families. That became a brand new thing. And then there were some people that didn't grow up and didn't become men that propagated that before men were taken out of the home for the most part. But anyway, I'm going to stop ranting on my high horse. and keep playing the freaking music. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's awesome. It reminds me of like Smashing Pumpkins and all that type of shit from back in the day. Wait, there Smashing Pumpkins. Who else was it back then? There was another band almost directly like them. Was it The Circle or was it Circle? Was it Circle or was it the Mad? Well, it was Circle. Something. Well, anyway, don't care. Let's keep it.
Afraid of everything staying the same or worsening. So what's the point of finding calm when calm to me is unsettling? Settle down, little K, your bones are shaking in your skin. Go and try and take a breath, though. Nothing more, nothing less. Typical story of the king who had it all, except for citizens who didn't want his head up on a wall. It's the typical story of the wife who couldn't quit being in love with such a giant piece of shit. It's the story.
Absolutely, I love this. This is directly representative of the younger generation in many ways. But guess what? Guess who that fucking falls on, y'all? It ain't the younger ones. It ain't their freaking fault. They're literally just got here. Sure, there's a plethora of information on the internet. And they have the ultimate tool of knowledge in their freaking pockets, and they use it for dumb shit. But who was it that raised them? Who was them parents? Who was them that told them they didn't know nobody or need nobody above them? Who was it, huh? Who was it that said it? Admit it. Admit it. I'm a boomer too. It's okay. I thought it was okay to be truthful and be honest and shit, right? Well, here's the honesty. It's on us, motherfuckers. We failed them on every goddamn level. But mostly we failed them because we allowed the left to take over everything and destroy it. Everything that could have helped them through life, right? Taking the dad out of the home. Dad's irreplaceable, as you could tell. All right, the last few generations, fatherless homes literally demonstrates that. And all the data and stats back it up 100%. Also, the single mother versus single father stats. Did you know that it's statistically correct to say that men are more important than women when it comes to the upbringing of children? Don't believe me, look that shit up. I'm not kidding. But it just proves more of the same of what's always been true. If we ever had a patriarchy, it was the best thing for you. Because, you know, and with the statistics of single moms versus single dads, it demonstrates this perfectly. Right? And it doesn't matter if there's two parents in the home if both of them are not a man. You could be male, but if you're gay, you're not a man. You can act manly, but you ain't a man. You're male. You're a female with more parts. And that's on you to be that. Still, gay people are pretty freaking great when it comes to making everything pretty, so I'll give them that. Any Jew, that's me. That's me, by the way. I'm part Jew too. I'm fucking cursed. Anyway, that being said, right? The statistics go like this: single fathers have the exact same outcome when it comes to the upbringing of children as a full, stable family unit combined. Single mothers are the exact reverse and opposite of that. Fact check me on that, Jack. So that being said, let's enjoy more of the music that talks about this and exemplifies it fucking perfectly.
Story of the queen who could never ever think of any redeeming qualities a man could ever bring. It's the story of the dog who wanted to run away till he learned that his life is wasted for inside a cage. I don't really need much, just a place to be alone, and you don't really see much. I think that I'm invisible. My mirror shows another guy. A guy doesn't do shit, he just sits and is miserable. Everybody's gotta live a life and takes it and ask for why would he put me here just to die, just to die? Hey, what's your name? Talk these for the guys you hate. We
Friggin' facts. And then there's the, my back is all jacked. Not in a good way. What was I going to say? I'm trying not to have too many Biden moments. I know I look really good, but I'm a retiree. I know, it's hard to believe. When all the white in my beard disappeared and my skin cleared up and I didn't have my eyes all milky and shit and freaking I look amazing now. Hell, I look like I'm at least 30 plus years younger. I like it. I love it. I want more of it. But I'm still screwed up. There's other things that can't be fixed no matter what you do. Anyway, there was an earlier part about sitting in silence and it being absolutely fucking unsettling. You know why it's unsettling for so many young folk to be sitting in silence? Because they get racing thoughts. Right? That's one of them. So racing thoughts is where you don't have any mental control. And they didn't have nobody to fashion that shit after. Shit, I know I barely did. One of the best things my old man taught me was how to kill somebody. As a kid. With a knife. And that was before I was reading correctly and right. Shoot, before I went to school, I freaking learned how to shoot and fight. And then I learned how to fight more at school. I was one of the only white kids there, so that's just how that shit goes. Well, okay. Mixed kid, actually, because my dad's freaking dark as hell, and he's freaking 6 foot, and my mom is the whitest Irish freaking, part Irish and shit like you'll ever freaking see, with freckles and fiery goddamn red hair, and she was a spoiled rich girl, so that says a lot. She was part of the second wave of feminism. But any smoot cuckoos, when they sit alone and everything is silent and they are left only with themselves, they literally go cuckoo, right? And it's one of the few things that I know of. Racing thoughts because they don't have mental control. They don't have a mentally formulated, built up, foundational structure from which to base thoughts from and to put a building of thought on top of, right? That's why I'm an absolutist about many things, because you have to have an absolute foundation, an absolute base foundation from which to put anything on top of. Otherwise, the whole shit falls apart because it's all uneven. And some parts of the ground are soft and some are hard, and it becomes all cattywampus and shit. Anyway, so that's one of the things, right? And then asking, why am I here? I didn't ask to be here. No, none of us did. None of us had a choice in this, period. Whatsoever. Nobody does. Do you have a choice for the sky being blue? Nope. Reality's reality. The screwed up thing that all of our institutions did to, humans overall, it doesn't matter left, right, whatever, fucking. The screwed up thing they did was giving you the illusion of extra normal choice when that doesn't exist. You can't just choose a reality. Reality is reality no matter what else you do about it. I mean, okay, how about you by yourself go, okay, find a mountain, will it to move? Mr. Liberal Arts degree, Miss frickin' I got my degree in engineering gifted to me because I'm female. Go will that shit to move right now. Oh, it won't, huh? Well, then is reality actually freaking subjective? Fuck no, it ain't. That's not real. None of us have a choice. Of course not. So why at all do anything but simply accept it? Because that's the only real choice there is. But they were taught from a young age, you can be, do, and go all things, everything. You can be Superman and a hedonistic degenerate, and everything will work out perfectly fine either way. Well, sure, for some it does. But what's going on with the majority? Why is the mental health so wrongs? Why is the brain not thunky right? Why is my young son having to be weaned off something called double sprunky that makes no fucking sense and has no real story to it? It's because of the retards that are all on the left that think that just because you think something and you live in a delusion in your own head, that changes reality. That's not real. So yeah, to the younger ones, stop putting so much shit into things you can't change. Instead, accept it and move on to anything else. Really. Right? Oh, you don't want to suffer and have a career and just work to die? Why? Well, okay, then don't do that. But understand and accept that those choices do have consequences. So do you want to at least struggle through life and have a decent life and crack at it? Or do you want to just struggle and get literally nothing from it? That, like, there's so much more I can get into here, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean. I'm pretty sure you do. But anyway, back to music.
Everybody's gotta live a life that they didn't ask for. Why would he put me here just to die? Just to die? Hey, what's your name? So these for the guys who hate. We should sit in silence while we think of what to say. Hey, I don't think this is working out. Will you forget I even asked you to come over to my house? Hey, I don't think I know much, but I know I couldn't take a good brush of you. Feel like I've been talking a lot. Just tell me to shut up and I will probably shut the fuck up and not.
There you go. Whoops, no, don't change the shit on me. No, stop doing that YouTube music, you retard. Anyway, where's that one part? There's a part somewhere I was listening to.
We should sit in silence while we think of shows another guy. A guy does. I don't really need much, just a place to be alone, and you don't really see much. I think that I'm invisible. My mirror shows another guy. A guy doesn't do shit, he just sits and is miserable. Everybody's gotta live a life that they didn't ask for. Why? You didn't want his head of on. Little kid, your bones are shaking, and I'm afraid of everything staying the same. Just tell me to shut up and I will probably shut the fuck up and I'm afraid of everything staying the same or worsening. So what's the point of finding calm when calm to me is unsettling?
Well, here's the thing, right? And it's really simple. Although people are going to hate me for this because it is this simple. Especially the younger ones. They really hate having to wrap their heads around this, but this is the fact and truth of the matter. Why, right? Why try for calm, or why is calm good, or all them things, right? Because they need excitement, they need to be activated to make the existence they've got right now tolerable, bearable, and desirable in some way. They got to do anything and everything but be calm, which is understandable, right? There's a reason why the youth are called, the young warriors, or they're dubbed, young, dumb, and stupid. Because, well, when you're young and dumb, you are stupid, right? But there's another reason for why, all of this is going on. There's another reason why when you're much younger, you want to just go, 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 go. And there's a natural reason for that. It's because you're growing. That's why. And it's this simple, right? If you don't learn from a young age to be at peace with yourself, know what you want and desire, and have to face your flaws, your defects, your your imperfections or the things you're good at, right? Learning yourself is the hardest freaking thing on the planet. I don't care what no one else says. That's the hardest thing. There's some people who are still shit, like around my age, boomers, straight up goddamn boomers, who still don't know themselves because they live in a fucking delusion. That's why. Okay, kids? That's why they all seem screwed up to you. That's why you look up at them and you're like, what in the hell is wrong with this? They're wrong. That's why. They're absolutely so. That's why they seem all screwed up. And then you look at that and you're like, that's going to be me? No, it doesn't have to be because they're wrong, right? The last few generations have gotten everything wrong. And that's demonstrably so. But anyway, getting back to the calm thing, right? Here's the thing, is that once you are at peace internally and you fight that fight as young as you possibly can, right? Because it's very important to make a peace with yourself and to have that internal dialogue, conversation, and that internal war, right? So you can settle yourself internally. And once you do, you'll find that you're going to crave those times of peace and calm. Because you might actually enjoy them. And they might actually turn out to be some of the most enjoyable. Because within that peace and calm you've generated that you've built within yourself, you'll end up extending that to others because you want to share. Because things are good on the inside of the hood, you know? Next thing you know, you got kids, right? And a wife or something. And they're all under that umbrella of your calm. And then they can literally, like, okay, when a man is able to achieve this, okay, I'm speaking more for men than girls and women. Although most of the women nowadays, I consider them overgrown girls, not women. I've known real women when I was younger. And once you've done this, you become the eye of the storm. You become the monolith from which others will take succor. You become that Greek statue you look at so much and want to be. Or that idol in the comic book that everybody looks up to and takes something from. You become that giant frickin' island in the middle of the raucous ocean. You become what back in the day used to be generally understood and accepted as a man. However, there's a big difference between now and back then, ain't there? You don't got a dad to do it for you. You don't have the father, the patriarch you need that's a man. From which to take the example. To blaze the trail. Show you what works and what don't. And to help you build upon what's consistently going to get built over generations. And that's how civilizations came to be. Boom diggity. That being said, I liked this. This was pretty cool. All right, there you go, Fire Mango. I'm sure this is what you wanted. Okay, I'm going to go do the next one. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That being said, be good, be safe, make a life for yourselves. I'll see you in the next one. I am Badger7 Actual, the formerly homeless veteran, Blast Cat Badger, out.